Others are fast-moving.
Unlike other big rallies,
Bit earlier at about 7 a.m. A group from the Coast Guard.
Welcome to #PHVote 2013. Today on Rappler. A new survey shows President Aquino gets the approval of 7 out of 10 Filipinos but loses the confidence of the upper and middle classes. Manny Pacquiao avenges his loss to Timothy Bradley and regains the WBO welterweight title. And our journalist accomplices are heroes. Will The Guardian or Washington Post win the Pulitzer Prize for reporting on the spying expose of Edward Snowden? Hello, I'm Maria Ressa. Welcome to Rappler, your social news network. A new survey shows 7 out of 10 Filipinos are satisfied with the performance of President Benigno Aquino, but his approval ratings drop among the upper and middle classes. Social Weather Stations or SWS survey says 66% are satisfied with Aquino's performance, while 21% say they're dissatisfied, for a net rating of +45 or good. Aquino's March net satisfaction rating is 4 points lower than in December 2013, when he scored a +49. The most significant drop in his approval ratings was among Class ABC. In March 2014, Aquino gets a good +39 rating, down 29 points compared to his very good +68 rating in December 2013. Survey results also show Aquino gets higher approval ratings in rural areas than in urban areas, although the latest net figures were lower compared to December last year. Manny Pacquiao regains the WBO welterweight title by unanimous decision in a convincing win over boxer Timothy Bradley. Pacquiao brings back his old form, attacking Bradley aggressively. He hands the American boxer his first ever defeat. 2 judges scored the fight 116 to 112, while the third scored it 118 to 110, redeeming Pacquiao after his lackluster performance in their first match in June of 2012. Pacquiao did not end his 5-year knockout drought, but his performance showed his killer instinct is back. Bradley came in with an offensive approach, landing a straight right hand, stunning Pacquiao, but his aggression left him vulnerable to Pacquiao's straight punch.
Tonight, the fight is good, but my opponent is trying to Gasha to knock me out, and I'm trying to knock him out also. But there are a couple of times that he hit me also a good right hook and left hook, but it's okay. I managed on that punches.
Bradley was gracious in defeat. He says, quote, "Pacquiao was a better man tonight. He showed what he's made of. The reason why I love Pacquiao so much is he never ducks an opponent. He's always willing to face the best." The victory reignites calls for Pacquiao to face Floyd Mayweather Jr. Pacquiao says he's ready anytime.
Like what I said, the line is 24 open 24 hours, 7 days a week. If you want to fight, then the fight will be on.
The Bangsamoro Transition Commission submits a partial draft of the Basic Law to Malacanang. The Basic Law provides the legal framework for the Bangsamoro political entity, which will replace the Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao, or ARMM. The law is based on the Comprehensive Agreement on the Bangsamoro signed by the government and the Moro Islamic Liberation Front in March. This aims to end decades of armed conflict in the southern Philippines. Malacanang has 3 weeks to review the proposed law before Congress resumes session May 5. Under the final peace pact, the Bangsamoro political entity enjoys greater political and fiscal powers than the entity it replaced, the ARMM. Militant lawmakers threatened to go to the Supreme Court to block the New Deal the Philippines is negotiating with the United States. Bayan Muna Representative Nery Colmenares says the Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement will, quote, bring back U.S. military bases in the Philippines without a treaty, without rent, and without limits. The deal will allow increased presence of American troops in the Philippines and give them more access to Philippine military bases. The Philippine panel says it's ready to submit to Malacanang the draft of the deal after the 8th round of talks ended. The panel also says the deal doesn't need Senate ratification because it's only an implementation of existing treaties with the United States, the Mutual Defense Treaty and the Visiting Forces Agreement. Talks for the enhanced defense cooperation began in August 2012 upon the request of the Philippines, which is counting on U.S. help to respond to the growing tension in the South China Sea. The search for the missing Malaysian plane enters a new phase. Joint Agency Coordination Center head Angus Houston says it will deploy the autonomous underwater vehicle Bluefin 21 to search for the black box in the plane's wreckage. Houston says the last signal from the plane's black box was recorded 6 days ago in the southern Indian Ocean. It's been more than a month since the plane vanished with 239 people on board, and the black box batteries are operational for only about 30 days. The U.S.-made Bluefin 21 will now scour the seabed. It can operate at a depth of up to 4,500 meters, roughly the depth of the ocean floor where the pings were detected. The daughter of the chief steward of MH370 receives a gift from people who learned her father was a football fan. Maria Elizabeth Nari gets a jersey signed by Liverpool players and manager in honor of her father, Andrew. She says 3 Malaysian Liverpool fans found a way to get the shirt signed after a recent game in England. Nari says she will frame the red jersey, which bears her father's name. Although officials say the plane likely crashed in the Indian Ocean, Nari continues to hope her father's still alive. Her optimism captured the hearts of many Malaysians. In March, Liverpool said it was, quote, touched by a tweet from Nari appealing for her dad to come home to watch the club's game on TV. Despite a massive international search for the aircraft, nothing has been found. A survey says more than half of Malaysians believe their government is hiding information about the missing flight MH370. The Malaysian Insider reports 54% of more than 1,000 people surveyed say the government is not being transparent about the plane's disappearance. Only 26% say they believe the government's being truthful about the plane, while 20% were not sure. The Malaysian government received international criticism for a chaotic response to MH370 and its contradictory statements by officials. But Malaysian authorities insist they're not hiding anything. Angry relatives of the Chinese passengers on board the flight earlier accused Malaysia of covering up the truth. For our social media post of the day, a photo of 3 young girls from Oklahoma goes viral. Taken by photographer Laura Scantling, little girls Riley, Ainsley, and Rianne are all fighting cancer. 3-year-old Riley just beat stage 5 kidney cancer, 4-year-old Ainsley is in remission from leukemia, and 6-year-old Rianne is still fighting brain cancer. The cause is important to Scantling, whose own father is fighting lung cancer. Let's now look at Rappler's Wrap for today, a list of the 10 most important events around the world you shouldn't miss. At number 7, the United Nations warns 50,000 children could die in South Sudan because of famine, made worse by the ongoing conflict. The African country experienced high levels of malnutrition since gaining independence in 2011. Ethnic conflict continues between troops loyal to President Salva Kiir and supporters of his former deputy Riek Machar. The UNICEF estimates 3.7 million people in South Sudan are at risk of food insecurity. At number 8, Pope Francis condemns the sexual abuse cases involving Catholic priests. Vatican Radio reports the Pope says he feels, quote, compelled to personally ask for forgiveness for the damage they have done for having sexually abused children. Francis adds, it is personal, moral damage carried out by men of the Church, and we will not take one step backward with regards to how we will deal with this problem and the sanctions that must be imposed. CNN says this is the Pope's strongest condemnation of sexual abuse cases involving Catholic priests. And at number 9, Bloomberg reports the U.S. National Security Agency, or NSA, knew about the heartbleed bug, a security flaw in many websites, for at least 2 years. Citing 2 people familiar with the issue, Bloomberg says that instead of alerting Americans, the agency used it to gather intelligence. Last week, computer security specialists warned about the bug in online data scrambling software. Heartbleed lets attackers retrieve passwords and other information from the working memory on computer servers. NSA denies it had prior knowledge of Heartbleed. For the full top 10, visit Rappler.com's The Wrap. Will America's top journalism prize, the Pulitzers, go to the newspapers that reported on intelligence leaker Edward Snowden? In arguably the most influential story of the decade, The Guardian and The Washington Post exposed the spying activities of the NSA. The leaks embarrassed the U.S. government and sparked debate on the merits and morality of mass surveillance. Public opinion remains divided on whether Snowden is a hero for exposing the spying activities or a traitor who needs to be prosecuted. Media analysts predict tension between journalists and members of the Pulitzer jury. The jury will announce the prize Monday afternoon in New York, Tuesday in Manila. In January, Director of National Intelligence James Clapper suggested journalists reporting on the leaks acted as Snowden's accomplices. But media experts say there is no evidence that any of the reporting endangered national security. Every story on Rappler has a mood meter, which gives you 8 emotions to choose from. You click how you feel and your vote comes down to the mood navigator in the middle of the front page. That crowdsources the mood of the day. It also gives you the top 10 stories that have affected our readers and our viewers the most emotionally. These 10 stories have gotten the most number of votes on their mood meter. If you take a look, we have the Pacquiao win. Pacquiao shows warrior's heart. You have an interestingly 7% inspired, a whopping 81% happy, but even here you have this patch of red. Timothy Bradley supporters 4% angry, that red being brought out in the story that's gotten the most number of votes today. Beware of fake cops prowling near NAIA, near the international airport. You have 4% annoyed and a whopping 86% angry, that red bringing out the mood of the day. Today, most people are angry. Well, that is Rappler's Newscast for today, Monday, April 14th, 2014. Visit Rappler.com and watch our newscast Monday to Friday. Tell us how you feel on our mood meter and help us crowdsource the mood of the day. I'm Maria Ressa. As we say at Rappler, tomorrow begins today.